See, this is kind of like, in terms of what we've been living it, this over on this side kind of been the masculine side, where all the harshness takes place and the cruelty's just accepted and you better just buck up, etc. And that over there is the feminine side where the love was extreme, man, and would never let go of it. The moment you died to it, you were born back into that love, and you never forgot it, man. It just live, and it's just constant, and it's just expansive, and you and peaceful, and there's no pain, and wow, see? And now we take the extreme of that, and we mix it with the color of the organic side and the deepening feelings there, And in so doing, of course, we combine the worlds, we commit the reunion, so we get the full presence of the love in all of our experience in creation, and never again are we ever feeling separate from it. Never separated from our mama, in other words, the love that creates us and lives within us, babies. Yeah, feel that warm embrace? You feel that mother love? Yes, indeed, I know you do, man. Coming right through this old man's heart. Because I'm every bit as big a mother as I am an old man, too. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Not in physical representation so much, but in the ethereal soul presence. We're all unified in that male and female sort of way. We're equidus, baby, no matter what percentage or form of it we display in this reality, And I'm very much a male presence in this reality, let me tell you. And confident in my maleness, but not too sure what to do with it even just yet, even as we kind of like co-commit to the emergence, which requires a merging. In order to emerge, it's like the butterfly, you got to merge into that cocoon and become one little thing and transform all that past experience into something wonderful and beautiful through compression, through decompression. I call it the composting stage, where it all breaks down to its basic and somewhat understandable elements, which then fuel us into flight, into the new life, breaking into the shell around us and moving on beyond the 3D that has been our egg, that's kept us restricted in the embryonic stage. Now we become a true representation of life, living in reality of love, because we're not divided from that love ever again. But we have the saltiness of the experience of this earth and the grittiness to give ourselves the deep feeling and the power in that to expand creation way beyond anything we ever felt before. See, we had feeling before, but we didn't know it because it didn't have that gritty side. It didn't have that rooted organic side. We didn't know that. So we had to come here and develop that, man. And that's what all these generations have been about, too, is developing that rooting in the organic, allowing the feeling of the divine angels to be present in an organic presence, in a fleshly sort of way that would still be very much resonating with all-dimensional reality, but for a time would seem as separate, so that we could filter into the organic a bit here, a bit there, and do it through these things we would call time and generations and stuff. Each generation a regeneration made of an act of love of one sort or another, else it would not be. That's the love that kept humanity alive, because we had to copulate to replicate the generations, no matter what. That was our prime command at one point, you see. But that's how we carried that love through. It's how we kept that mother love alive in times of the greatest desperation, by allowing not one birth to occur without an act of love being behind it in some way. And there is love motivating in all of it, even if some of these things that happen that bring babies about may not be all that well thought out or well planned, etc., or that well, you know what I mean. There's still that primal desire for the union with the mother love that recreates another human life and lets yours go on the other way, while this one picks up the ropes and carries them for you for a ways, and then they give them to somebody else. But guess what? It's the same person carrying them throughout the generation. This place where we go, where we're absent of that full presence of love. Yet we come in here with that full presence in us, and it is undeniable in the fresh-born baby child. It's there in all of us. The darkest child is the brightest light there could ever be in this reality. And of course, there are those that would have them put out right now and seek and desire to do so right there in the delivery rooms, the boudoirs, the backwoods, wherever it is that the babies are being born. There's always that representation there, but it's a challenge we chose to accept in that feeling of separation, so that in the regeneration, we'd never let it go. Once we merged back into that world where the love is not separate, where it's in all of the creation, and I compare it to the sunlight coming into the organic and shining from the inside out, instead of being a separate light in a blue sky or whatever, you see. Light in the sky is created by us, the rainbow children of love, who are the heart of creation, reunionating in that light that creation is made of, in the organic feeling sort of way that, again, I often call orgasmic, and beautifully so. Not in any kind of sense of, cheap thrill or a resonating thing that doesn't get you anywhere but frustrating. No, I'm talking about something that's full. And it's so full that it can't help but just keep replicating itself ever outward into experience, joyfully so, quietly so, happily so, yet in the greatest resonation of harmony, symphonic harmony there could ever be. It's why we call it rock and roll. We added grit to the medicine of heart and soul now, see? That's the organic way. That's the magnetics of materialism. And the fallacies and the illusions live there, yes, but beyond that, the rooted feelings we developed here. Sometimes by being absent from feelings almost completely, to the point where we felt so cold and icy, all we wanted to do was die and kill everybody else with our death. Weird shit. Back to front and then some. But we got through it, dears. And we convinced our hearts of otherwise things. We've seen the resonating love that got us through. And that it's always there, whether it's represented in love making to bring forward a baby, or, Mary Jane sneaking in the back door in the elemental herb, the sacred herb, and becoming a form of enlightenment so that human beings could toke a little bit of this stuff or imbibe of it in some way and actually experience the ethereal, open up to what they couldn't even admit to themselves existed before, let alone venture forward into. See, it's a gateway. So I call it Gateway to Paradise, because it truthfully and sincerely is, and has been from the beginning, just like you are, because you're a representative of that mother love too, or you would not be tuned in here to this Coyote Medicine Show and living it in that Coyote Medicine sort of way, which is rock and roll. Understandably so, you see. One reflects the other, and all bring us together in the perfection of the Divine Mother Love, the Divine Harmony, which is the great symphony of love. Kind of directs itself through all of us, you see. That's why we unleash creation from a singularity of person into a multiplicity of creation, which is a singularity of person. Experienced in you and me too, and even my little doggy, Obi-Wan Kenobi back here, or Toby-Wan Kenobi, Yogi-Wan Kenobi, as the case may be. All of us setting each other free, man, by being what we be. See, just accepting it simply, letting that joy take us. That's what I mean by the orgasm. It's the joy. Makes us constantly and appreciatively expansive. It goes beyond any feeling we've ever known. It goes into the feeling with which we're flowing right now. God bless you, each and every one of us, all of us, in this grand love of creation flowing through us as we become more and more consciously present in it. See, I told you things were changing. Well, this is a part of the change. We're getting ready to awaken to a completely different level of living, the true level at which life lived, and for which all of these things, the satire, the comedy, the poetry, the Mary Jane, All the coyote medicine in this world has been whirling us around and helping us unravel and unwind into the divine dynamic of the truthful way of being, man. The age of Aquarius, well, shit, and then some. It's the reunion of what seemed divided forever. Yet, there is no forever, there is no division. There's a will to live and a will to give and to share and to be joined and united with all. That's where our desires are fulfilled, right here in the here and now, baby. How about that? Is that an ant howl? I thought so, man. Got you out from behind that drudgery again, didn't we, man? Which I called a plow, you know. Oh, baby. I used to wonder about that, didn't you? You know, when you was a little kid, you was contemplating the nature of the way things are. I used to wonder about that. My old man was a farmer and a rancher, so we plowed fields, and I would ride along on the tractor with him sometime and watch this fresh earth turn over, and I'm wondering, why in the hell do we have to do all of this to get scratching a little food out of the backside of Mother Earth, you know? I couldn't quite get why we had to industrialize the process, though I couldn't quite describe my way of thinking that way as a child. But babies, we always knew, all of us, that there was something backwards about this whole thing, right? But yet it seemed we had no choice but to accept it and go along with it. See the drudgery of the plow, when in reality, if we just walk forward or fly forward and bless the earth, she is abundant and provides everything for everybody that, you know, just like she does for nature. It's all right there given, only in a far more natural way than even what we see in nature. It's called creation, the creative flow, the mother love in motion, baby. Now you start to understand why we've been fascinated with, you know, the flow of the mother in this reality. And use that flow, the ocean, the water, and the breast milk that goes with it to carry ourselves forward through the generation. And why some have sought to interrupt that cycle even, and to even take that much enlightenment away from us, make us even dumber than we are already? I don't think so. Been there, done that already. You know, human experience has run the gamut now. You know, in 1 billion years, 500 million years, I don't know what it is, but it's a long stretch, baby. It doesn't really matter now. What matters now is the ability to let go of the plow, to see beyond the conception that we have to industrialize any process here in order to provide for ourselves. That we're perfectly in tune with creation and the divine ways of creation. It's an awakening then to a whole new level to which we've been blind before. Again, that world where the love is constant. See? Now you're starting to remember, babies. Let this process continue. I'm going to rock your jock a little bit the next day or two, because, well, we do it all the time anyway, but this time just for fun. This time, you know, you've been getting too damn comfortable in that thing. You shouldn't be wearing that kind of underwear anyway, man. So we're going to rock your jock, because I am a disc jockey, as they say. We're going to rock your jock. In fact, we already have right here, right now, today, eh? It's the coyote way. I'm just playing with you in a whole big different way, but we're moving into the way of play, where children can understand life in that way again, as the playful things that we are. You see, you're getting it clear, dear, here, because you got a coyote, you know, covering your backside, baby. No matter how you feel about me as a person, or this conception as a reality, this ascension or transformation or whatever, no matter how you feel about it, the reality demonstrates itself to you, and the feelings get real, and then you understand even the resistance, and the resistance side of yourself that you had to make it purify and prove itself to you, because you'd so committed your heart to the other way, right? Because you knew there was no real love here, so you're going to say, screw them, let's just, well, no. That didn't work either, did it? But see how we unify? See how we move beyond such conceptualization? See the unity in it? Yeah, it's a cross-gendered thing, and then some. You'll be amazed at how transgendered it becomes, because it already is, you know. And then, well, we still got something to celebrate. And we still have our ways of being, too. And our ways of living, which now are based completely in truth, for it's a feeling thing. And nothing, no word is spoken, no action is taken without that feeling being fully present and all involved in whatever moment of creation we're living in. You see? Because that's been our reality all along. We've just been blind to it. So in other words, we gave our permission to be invaded and overtaken and imprisoned. So that we could take those who would imprison us, we could take them prisoner too, and persevere to the full completion of our sentence, dear, and bring them forward with us too, because they see how honest we are in our dedication to the heart that's sincere. You see? Now you're getting it clear in that hazy sort of way, don't you know? Some kind of wonderful, wouldn't you say? Yes, indeedy, when Grandpa and all of our grandchildren come out to play, which is me too, grandchild that I are. And I never want to grow up, ever.